Just so you all know, I consider everything that happens in this campaign to be Planescape fanfiction.
This is true.
That's fair.
No, this is all canon.
So here's what I want to have happen now. Because I'm going to find out how much you all love Kelian. So I'm going to do a silent poll of my players.
Okay.
So submit your answer to me in some secret way, like through like a
AIM or
a Twitter DM or something like that.
Can you see Discord PMs?
Yeah. Discord PM.
All right, I'll use that then.
Or Twitch, well, whatever you need. How many days go by before your character is like, I haven't seen Kelian in a while, and I'm a little worried about it.
Oh, that's not fair.
How many days?
Does Riot mention that he just disappeared from the bathroom after having really noisy sex with a succubus?
Let's see, can I... I'm not a friend of yours on Discord, Brickroad. I don't know how this...
I don't really manage my Discord friends list, but...
Alright, so I just sent a friend request to you.
I like Destil's answer. Destil's got a good answer here. Here's Nick's answer.
Because I can't direct message you without being on a friends list, I think.
You can get on AIM or something, though, can't you? Or a Twitter DM. You have options. Or email me or whatever. If nothing else, I'll just take you into a private chat for a second.
Nah, I got it. I'm sending you a Twitter DM. Once my computer decides to not be stupid.
Nodal's got a good answer. I like all of these. I was expecting... I guess I should have expected some kind of embellishment on these answers, even though I just asked for the numbers, but no, this is fine. Alright. And you're sending a Twitter DM?
Yeah.
Twitter me do?
Come on. Windows 10's native Twitter app is hot garbage.
I don't have anything to compare it to because it's all I use.
Do you want an answer from me? And I would notice that Kelian was missing.
I want from you. I want your estimations from everyone else.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Do you want to... yeah, you send me an A message saying what you think everybody else said.
Right.
This is turning out to be like match game. Like, if I were to ask... Edgar, you are absolutely not getting any hot dog.
He's like, that's a good idea, but what if, just consider, what if I did?
There you go.
All right.
That was a name message because Twitter
There you go,
failed
Brick.
me. Discord failed me.
Okay, so does Riot inform anybody of what she saw transpire at Bowl of Anaheim?
Before Riot would do that, Riot would cast a sending to Kelian.
Cast a sending to Kelian?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the sending is, Kelian, where are you? We're supposed to be stealing from this man, and you haven't shown up in 2 days.
So you wait 2 days before even making the sending?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're Gene Rayburn up in here, Rickroad.
Gonna have to make a judgment call on the way sending works in this situation.
That's an interesting response.
Kelian,
Response, yeah.
the only thing you're aware of, I mean, after blacking out in pure ecstasy in this bathroom, is just darkness. Just like piles of sleep on top of you. The only other thing that cuts through this darkness, and you have no idea how long it's been, or what's happened, or where you are. You don't feel any physical sensation. But you hear Riot chastise you for not showing up to work. And you can respond 25 words or less.
I imagine that would be Kelian's response.
But it's still one word, 20 words, 24 words to go.
Where am I?
So,
No, that's what I asked you.
Right, it's like, these fuckers keep wasting my sentence.
so that's what Riot does after 2 days. After 1 day of Kelian not checking in, so before Riot makes this sending, Liberation is super worried. He's concerned, because Riot didn't tell him yet, and he said he would wait 1 day before being worried about Kelian.
That's what I had on my list.
Nodal said 10 days. And Nath said if no one brings it up, he would never be concerned. My favorite, though, is McDohl's guess for Mahogany. Well, he got Nath right.
What was McDohl's guess for Nath?
Never. For Mahogany, he said a random dice roll would determine it, since he's not the thinking type. He would just roll a die. Which might be what he did, I don't know. So, Riot, you get a response from Kelian, and it's not very useful. But Liberation, 1 day goes by without you, which means you check in with Kelian every day.
Yeah.
To make sure he's okay. So, what efforts do you guys take to try to locate Kelian once word gets out that he hasn't been around and nobody knows what happened to him?
Yeah, well, I'll get together and I'll explain to you this. I tried asking where he is, and all I got was he asked me, where am I?
Let's go to that mirror.
He
I
didn't
have in the
sound...
temple.
Alright. He didn't sound
Alright.
very lucid.
Is there anything... Does he have a room here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Go
does.
get one of his possessions from the room, something he cares about. It'll make it easier.
He cares about everything he owns.
Yeah, he cares about everything he owns, so it shouldn't be too hard.
What if instead of looking for him, we just find him?
That's like saying, what if instead of going to your shop, we just are there?
That's good thinking.
Yeah, you're missing a very important step. Like, we can't just will ourselves there. Well, I mean, maybe magic is a hell of a thing, but
So you guys are
Anyway.
going to go to a magic mirror to try to find Kelian?
Yep.
Okay. And how does this work?
Do you have... especially, see if there's any, like, loose hairs or anything on his pillow. That would be the best.
so
That's
here-
that's up to Kelian, whether or not he keeps his room in neat and tidy, or if he sheds a lot.
Does
Mahogany
he have a
finds 3
hairbrush?
hairs, but they're all the wrong hair color.
Does Kelian have a hairbrush?
None are his. They're all from
Yeah.
his various baby mama.
I think
A lot of them
I
are from his fluffy bottom.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the thing.
that's just- I think he would, because if he maintains a room in the church, then he's probably got his disguise kit there.
Okay. So yeah, you find some personal
Oh, yeah.
effects of Kelian's.
Yeah.
Quick question: what equipment did Kelian take with him to a Bowl of Anaheim? And what did he leave behind?
He took the amulet, probably took the cloak, cigarette holder, magic mug. He took his thieves' tools because he just used them. Curiosity from the blue worm. His disguise would be there.
Okay. Everything you took with you, you can just remove from your sheet. It's been stolen.
Oh.
I mean, if you really, really want to, you can put it all in a separate place and go hunt it down later.
I might.
But you don't have any of it.
All right.
When you regain consciousness, you don't feel injured or hurt. You feel restrained. You're tied in some way. There are wraps around your arms holding you to a wall, and same thing at your ankles. Notably, though, they're not like metal manacles. They're not like biting into your skin. They feel almost comfortable, and you don't feel injury. You just feel very weak, like you woke up way too early from a much-needed sleep. And you hear bits and pieces of a conversation. Do you speak Infernal?
Definitely do not.
Okay. You recognize the language as Infernal. Your maximum hit points right now is 1.
Yeah.
Edgar ate 1 bite of hot dog bun with some mustard on it, and then he just pieced the fuck out. He's out of here.
Because he was expecting meat.
I had not seen him all day until I plugged in the George, and then he's been my shadow for the last 10 minutes, and now I will never see him again. He's got the soul of a cat.
You got a food dispenser. You are his food dispenser.
So you feel incredibly weak, and your mouth is very dry. You are skinned down to just your breeches, and you are very notably still wearing this amulet around your neck. And that's it. All of your other clothes, equipment, money, anything you had on you when you went to Bowl of Anaheim is gone.
I was broke, fools!
It just then is 47 gold.
Well, I guess you didn't really have to bring any gold because it's your table at the Bowl of Anaheim. So far, it doesn't seem like whoever's having this conversation. One of the voices you recognize as the Succubus. She's speaking to, very obviously, some kind of fiend. You can't see. You've got something tied around your head. So even though your eyes are open, there's something blocking your vision. What do you do?
Not a thing. He would be concerned that since he is in such a weak state, he'd be close to death, and therefore try to resume being unconscious.
So you're going to fake like you're unconscious?
Yeah.
Okay. After a few moments, you hear them enter the room where you're strapped up to this wall, and their conversation continues. And you can't understand what they're saying, but it's a very amicable conversation. It sounds very transactional. Nobody's angry. Nobody's upset. She's very notably not using her sweet sing-song voice. That's happening at some indeterminate amount of time. So for now, let's go back to Nath and his magic mirror.
Let's go ahead and cast Scrying on Kelian. And you said we would probably find some hair from your disguise kit?
Yeah.
So that'll be... I'll leave it up to you to decide whether I'm first-hand or familiar knowledge of Kelian.
We'll say first-hand. I mean, he's part of your adventuring party. You've literally been to hell and back with him.
Well, familiar is the better one. Is the one that you know them well.
Oh, no, you go with whatever is the best.
Okay, so that would be a minus 15 to his saving throw against DC 18 on... assuming he wants to resist the scrying on wisdom.
You have no compulsion to resist this scrying if you don't want to.
No. Why would I resist? That sounds silly.
Now, Nath, can all of us see what you see through this mirror, or is it just you?
Yep, I project the image onto the mirror.
So here's what you guys
Scrying
see.
Sensor.
It is a pitch black room. So unless you have dark vision, you're not seeing anything. But you hear quite a lot. Who amongst you speaks Infernal?
Liberation.
So Liberation, you hear the Succubus, who you rescued, by the way. This is all your fault.
Yeah, no.
Nath wanted to disintegrate her, and you said no, so it's all your fault twice. The person she's talking to is absolutely a fiend, and he's speaking Infernal very, very comfortably and very fluently. So what you surmise, probably Beatisu. And the conversation they're having is she's trying to buy her way into the service of a pit fiend on Beator. And she's bringing a gift for her new master, and this gift is this powerful warrior of celestial blood. And the fiend that she's talking to is very, very impressed. Scrying gives you all of the information about what's happening in this room, but it doesn't actually tell you where the room is.
No.
However...
But if you have dark vision, you can see in the darkness through it.
It would not function if it wasn't somewhere in Sigil.
So he's still on plane somewhere.
It sounds like what happened is she used her literal kiss of death to drain him to the brink of death, teleported him to wherever this is, and then started seeking, essentially, buyers. And the reason this Beatisu is so impressed with her is celestial blood is a commodity, especially on Beator. So if you don't find Kelian before this happens, he will be gone forever.
Yeah. We need to go now.
Riot is going to turn to Mahogany and ask, "Can you speak with Miss Fluffybottom? See if
I can speak to her.
See if she can track him."
What is Kelian's guess as to how many days Mrs. Fluffybottom would take before she notices Kelian's gone?
I would say immediately.
I don't think that number exists.
I would say immediately because Kelian is Mrs. Fluffybottom's food dispensary.
Well,
Yeah, but
no,
she's a
because
cat.
they just installed an aquarium in the bottom of this church, so, I mean, what does she need him for anymore?
Can either of you... I don't have dark vision today. Can any of you describe the area?
Liberation's got dark vision, so
Okay.
he can describe it.
It's underground somewhere, and there's no light source in the room. And let me see if you know what kind of creature she's speaking to, having seen him as well. Kelian himself does not look like he's in terrible shape. I mean, he's obviously restrained in some way, but he doesn't look...
Wounded?
Yeah, he doesn't have any visible wounds. And make a perception check.
Perception. 13.
13. If Kelian were asleep, I mean, he would just be hanging there by the restraints. But something gives you the impression that he's not. Something gives you the impression he's faking it. Just the way he's hanging, or like he's trying too hard to be motionless, or something. You're pretty sure he's awake.
I'll turn to Riot and let her know that, yeah, no, he's up. He's awake now. He's faking being asleep. Try another sending.
Does he have any equipment or anything? I don't have detect object, unfortunately, today.
Just pants and what looks like the small iron coin hanging around his neck.
And I'll look between
I don't know where you got that from.
Riot and Mahogany. Can either of you cast detect object?
No, I can't.
I can do that.
Can we zoom it? Describe did you see that coin that he put on when he was in the rat hole?
I
I
saw
didn't
it.
see. Oh,
Mahogany? Or were you too enamored with the succubus at the time?
Nope.
No,
Nobody
he-
saw that. He made a sleight of hand check. He didn't want
But it
anybody
was
to see
I saw it because his sleight of hand was 13 and my passive is 15. Damn it. I mean, I'll describe it to Mahogany.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen him wearing it. I didn't realize what it was at the time.
yeah.
I
Looks
still
like
don't
it
know
didn't
what
work.
For some reason, they didn't remove it. It's odd.
Yeah. They stripped him of everything he had.
Well,
Then
if we could guess where he is, we could try and hone in on him with that.
Okay. So is the plan to try to use locate object?
I think we should have 3 plans. I
Okay.
think we should locate object. I think we should try and have Miss Fluffy out and track him. We can also try sending one more. And Riot is willing to polymorph herself into like a dog or a wolf or something with a strong sense of smell and do a third avenue there. And the other thing we should know is that, and Riot is saying this to the others, it looks like the succubus teleported him somewhere from that bathroom to wherever she is now. which means it has to be somewhere she knew about.
And she wouldn't have left a trail.
Well, it's been several days. She could have covertly moved him overnight.
Yeah, maybe.
So, liberation. Because you can see into the room, the devil she's talking to is a spined devil, which is kind of one of the lower ranks. They're used quite often as scouts, and because they can fly, messengers, that sort of thing. So if a pit fiend had business in Sigil, he would send something like a spine devil here to do the grunt work.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Riot, before the scrying is over, Riot wants to cast Ascending to Kelian to tell him, create some light in there. We're looking at you right now, but we need some light in that room.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
I will use my racial ability to cast daylight.
Okay. There is absolutely no way to do this without the two other fiends in the room noticing immediately.
Yeah, I know.
So the room fills with daylight, and you immediately see this spine devil and your good succubus friend. They immediately cease their conversation and look at Kelian. And then
Kelian lets out a audible groan.
Well, what can we see in the room while this is happening?
Very little. It's just a small stone room. It doesn't even have a piss bucket in there. There's a door that is currently closed that the two of them have come into.
Mahogany memorized the image of that amulet.
Yeah, you can see the amulet very clearly.
Alright.
The spine devil then begins speaking to Kelian. He says it is fantastic tricks like that makes the various parts of you very, very highly desired. He says very tauntingly.
Well, if you got to know me, you would realize that all of these parts together would make it even more desirable.
So what is your goal here? You're trying to talk your way out of the situation? Or are you just taunting this devil?
Kelian doesn't like. I don't know if he's in the right state of mind to know that he has a goal right now. But
okay.
Right now, he's just playing.
There's nothing wrong with your mind at all.
Okay.
You're just extremely weak. You feel like you just want to go to sleep.
He's just playing then.
Okay.
He knows he does not have any leverage or now, so.
So this devil, who apparently doesn't know he's being scryed on, lays out the plan for Kelian. He's going to be impressed into service for some pit fiend or another, and spend the rest of eternity lashed to some kind of infernal soul engine, where his celestial being, over the course of centuries, will power some sort of wicked device. And then, when he is finally spent, when there's nothing left in him, after many lifetimes of torment and agony, the empty husk of him will very unceremoniously be thrown as food to the Nuparibo pit. And he delights in telling Kelian this story.
Sounds like I'd be more welcome there than in Mount Celestia. Alright.
Kelian says, alright, sounds good. Just don't tell the angels where I am. They're so pissed at me.
Pretty much. So
let's turn to the rescue efforts. So we have, because you've done like a locate object search grid before. Mm-hmm. Is that what we're going to try again?
We'd probably want to narrow down. Do you have any idea where in Sigil this would be? I'm talking specifically to Riot.
I tried. I looked. There was nothing I got from that image, right?
No, and I mean Riot knows firsthand. There's a lot of just little nondescript rat holes in Sigil.
Yeah, it could be anywhere.
It's entirely possible that room does not even have an entrance into the streets. That you need a portal to get into or out of it. So we've got a locate object search grid. Riot's going to polymorph into a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And you were going to try to ask Mrs. Fluffybottom for help?
I'm not doing that without some fish. So Riot, you got to pony up. Going down to that aquarium.
It becomes very apparent very quickly that plan's not going to work. She gives no indication that she has any idea who Kelian is. I want to continue to stress, Mrs. Fluffybottom, there's nothing special about her. She's just a regular cat.
You can say whatever you like, Brick Red.
As she survives the
No one believes you.
No one believes you.
No one believes you at all. Oh, she just trotted onto the plane of fire without any problems. Yeah, no, it's cool.
You don't think cats can do that?
No, I don't
I
think
think
cats
cats
can do
do.
that.
I completely believe you, Burke.
Yeah, there you go. Riot. Go ahead and make me a... You can make a perception check at advantage because you have your keen sense of smell. But it's going to be a very high DC because you've got a lot of ground to cover.
Right.
And Mahogany, go ahead and you make me a... Actually, I'm going to make your check for you, Mahogany. You don't have to do anything.
Alright, just be aware I'm saving a couple spell slots. Because I want to, if Riot happens to find somewhere near him, if I can locate object there, she can just blink us right to him.
Yeah. So I got a 29 on that check.
Okay. 29?
Yeah.
Nath and Liberation, how are you guys helping the hunt? Or are you staying there keeping the scrying up?
Scrying only lasts 10 minutes. I would be going with Mahogany and aiding on the investigation check if that's what he's making.
Oh, he's flying, I'm assuming.
I can fly. Huh? I got fly prep today.
Yeah. Because you're doing the search grid pattern.
Yeah.
Casting it whenever it runs out. Okay.
Fly with me.
Kelian.
Yes,
roll
sir.
some percentile dice.
I can do that. Pink is 10s. 96.
That's very good.
You spend, and you have no idea how much time, kind of drifting in and out of sleep. And every time you realize that you're conscious, you hear snippets of infernal conversation, sometimes with the Succubus and the Spine Devil, sometimes with other parties in the room. But notably, one time you wake up and you hear nothing, just silence.
Can I... Alright, it's quiet, so... You said how am I bound? I'm bound not with metal shackles, I'm bound with...
Your guess is it would have to be, because it just feels like wraps of like very loose rope or cloth. Mm-hmm. Like if you were tied to a wall with some bed sheets. So your guess is the only way that these are staying firm is there's some kind of magic involved.
Oh.
But you haven't yet tried to slip free or break them or do anything.
Because that's what I was going to do. I was going to do, I don't know, a sleight of hand to try and free myself. I don't know if I did dislocate a shoulder or something.
I mean, when you go to move to slip free, the binds move with you to keep you grabbed.
Oh. Why do ropes like this exist? I mean, really.
For slippery people like you, specifically.
Some people are into it.
Yeah, she's a succubus. You didn't think she had a whole
Yeah, no
closet
kink
full?
shaming.
And then, very notably, you hear a sharp, loud noise that sounds like metal scraping against stone, like somebody has scraped a weapon along the wall or stone floor out there.
Can I try to shrug my blindfold off my face at all?
Make a dexterity check. Make this check at disadvantage. No skill, just straight dexterity.
12.
12.
11.
You don't manage to get it off your face, but you manage to get it kind of slip down the bridge of your nose slightly. And you can peer up over it. Unless you have dark vision, you can't see anything in the room, though.
I do have dark vision.
Okay. Then you just see essentially the dim outline of what I told them earlier. It's a featureless room. The door is currently closed, and right now you're alone.
Okay, can I do... Can I make a perception or investigation roll to figure out what that noise was?
I mean, you can easily guess what the noise was. It sounds like a
There's-
weapon striking the stone and being slid on it. Like if you were to take one of your daggers and grind it along one of the stone walls. Is what it sounded like.
Yeah, Kelian will shout out. Hey! Who's out there?
Then there's a loud thump against the door, as though somebody was thrown into it or threw themselves against it. And you start to see the handle on the door turn slowly.
I'm waiting with bated breath.
The door opens, and you see Izena, the succubus, fall into the room. And she has a great gash from one side of her neck all the way down her chest, around her rib cage. And she slumps forward into the room, and she reaches out her hand to you for a moment, but she can't speak. And then she drops to the ground dead. Standing behind her, you see a suit of armor that you've seen before. Except you saw it on an armor stand in a very wealthy mansion in the ladies' ward. And into the room, the figure wearing this armor, she's holding a two-handed bladed weapon that looks like a sickle. She steps into the room, reaches up, pulls the visor of her helmet up, and you see the face of your old business partner, Lady Ligris. And she locks eyes with you, bends down and takes her blade, holds it to the neck of this succubus, and grabs her hair, and then stops, staring at you in your exposed eye. What's next?
She's waiting for a prompt from me.
She's not doing anything at the moment. But she knows you can see her.
Yeah. Oh. She got me into this mess. Nah. Take her
Wait
out.
a second
That's fine.
here.
What? What?
It means the succubus, not
Yeah.
Ligris.
And
Yeah,
Ligris
sorry. The succubus was just like, and yeah.
draws the sickle across the succubus's throat, spills her blood in the room. She takes a moment, whips the succubus's blood off the blade, steps forward, puts her hand up on your face, begins caressing around the bottom of your chin, and looks at you with a measure of concern.
Kelian laughs.
And then you feel her blade enter into your belly.
Damn it.
And it's very painful. In fact, you should, by rights, be making death saves because you have one maximum hit point.
Yeah, I should be.
She says, but for the pressure she's holding on her blade, you would be dead. That in the most literal sense imaginable, she is holding your life in her hands. And whether you live or die is of no concern to her.
Kelian's smiling.
He's just smiling, his blood's
He's just
leaking.
His blood spurtles out between his teeth.
She says that she knows you are a taker, which means you can, under no circumstances, accept the charity of her rescuing you from this succubus and the other devils that she was about to sell you to. So she's going to do you a favor and let you pay her for this service.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
She says that she and her agents, rather, will have exclusive access to Locksmith's information on trade going into and out of Sigil from Beator. That this exclusivity will be extended to her agents, and no other. And you feel the blade tighten inside of your belly as she's pinching off the flow of blood from within.
Oh, you drive a hard bargain.
And she says, for the service of allowing you to supply me with this information, you will deliver unto an agent of my choosing 500 gold pieces the first day of every month, unfalteringly for the rest of your miserable life.
As an offer I cannot refuse.
And then she reaches up with her other hand, pulls the visor back down over her face. You feel the blade pull painfully out of your belly. And then you're only...
You curse words.
You're only aware of a healing warmth closing the wound before you black out again. 96, huh? Mahogany, excellent news.
96.
You and Nath managed to locate the general area where Kelian must be, pinpointing the object below the ground. And then using Riot's keen sense of smell, you managed to pinpoint a building where the entrance must be, going underground.
Well, I'm just gonna say to Riot. Riot, I can tell you exactly how many feet it is to the object. Can you blink us there?
And Riot comes out of wolf form. Just dismisses the, yeah.
I can take one person as well.
Okay.
So you all are blinking or dimension dooring into the place?
Well, how are we gonna get back out?
I've got more.
Yeah.
Okay then.
When you all get in, you find essentially a bloodbath. There's 3 very messily killed spined devils in the room that you blink into. Killed with a bladed weapon. In the second room, you see the dead Succubus, who has been slashed across the chest and the neck. And then behind her, you see Kelian slumped forward onto the floor with a blanket laid gingerly over him. And he's still breathing.
I'll wake up Kelian. Kelian, you're into some kinky shit.
I'm going to start investigating to see if there's a way back out without another dimension door.
There is. The door into this area that would lead to some stairs going up into a dilapidated building is locked, but it's locked from the inside. So it's just a matter of walking out, yeah.
Looks like we're clear to get out.
Well, that's good.
Keelan, can you walk?
Can I walk? I assume I'm good because
You have-
whatever.
You have 1 hit point and probably like 3 levels of exhaustion, and I don't know. Is your pride wounded?
Has Keelan's pride ever been wounded? Come on.
It helps that he has no shame.
It is true.
Where in the city are we?
You are in the hive.
Okay.
And having found him now, very noticeably, he does have a visible wound in his belly that has been closed by magic, but the scar still remains.
Let's get him up to the surface. I've got a place we can retreat, and I'll cast Magnificent Mansion.
Okay. And Riot's like, I could do this way better.
Hold on.
I mean, if we're going to retreat and bring him to, get him some care, we can just take him back to the temple.
That's a
Kelian,
point.
Yes, sir.
after 2 long rests, your exhaustion will be completely gone. After 1 long rest, your hit point maximum will be set back to normal, but you're still going to have to find some way to actually refill your hit points. use up all your hit dice or get Riot to cast Aura of Vitality over and over again or some manner.
Okay.
But other than that, there's no lasting damage. Just the loss of your equipment, and now you're in Lygras's pocket.
Yeah, a giant gaping hole that is the locksmith now. That's not good. I gotta fix that.
While that's happening, Mahogany, are you interested in being Kelian stand-in for these Platinum Bar runs?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, cool.
So let's go ahead and just finalize where these Platinum Bars are going to be kept for now.
Mm-hmm.
There is 4,000 platinum worth of material there, so it's a considerable amount of metal.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a commodity. Like, you just couldn't walk up with a bar and buy something with it, but
Right. How much does all that weigh?
I have no idea. A lot.
Yeah.
Quite
A
a
lot.
bit.
Every 50 coins is a pound, right?
I don't fucking
So
know.
the
I mean, that's like 2 tons of platinum bars or so. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit.
That,
But you have a
Yeah.
lot of time, and nobody knows that you robbed the guy, so...
Yeah, I almost wonder if, like... we have a vault. We know where the vault is. Like, Riot can dimension door in and out of the vault anytime she wants, because she's taken off the spells preventing that.
Yep. If you're going to do that, though, you'll have to find some way to permanently... you'd have to let the servants go. You'd have to find some way to permanently get them off the premises.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an option.
Or we can just keep paying them.
Or we could just keep paying them.
Just cast Seeming once a week or so and show
Wait.
up as the guy, and...
No, we don't even need to, because Mahogany can just walk in.
Yeah,
Mahogany
all
can
those-
change his shape every
Right.
second of the day.
That's true. Although Mahogany's deception is piss poor.
It doesn't need to be good, we're paying them.
That's true.
Mahogany.
Yeah.
After all this adventure with Kelian and whatnot, there's word waiting for you, either back at the gymnasium or back to your shop, that Lady Reese will be waiting for you and your companions at a city on Elysium called Precipice.
Alright. In that case, I'm gonna tell Riot we should pay them for a month, because we gotta get going.
All right.
no. Where do we gotta get going?
Precipice.
Precipice. All right.
Never heard of it. What is it?
It's a city
City where?
on Elysium.
Okay.
This is how a lot of conversations with Mahogany go.
It really, yeah. It's like normally we just gloss over that, but no, this is exactly how conversations with Mahogany go.
How long do you guys wait to leave?
I need to make some arrangements to convert some of this gold into these sorts of research materials that I'm trying to funnel toward Senet.
Okay. We'll say that takes maybe a day to set up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
the amount of time Mahogany's willing to wait.
Yeah. And I'm sure that Senet or whoever will send zombies or to come claim.
Oh, yeah,
materials.
absolutely. So, Kelian, what kind of shape are you in after one day, after one long rest?
Well, let me roll some hit dice and I will tell you.
Yep. Your hit point maximum is fine, by the way. You're back at...
What is it? No, pick that. 6. Whoop. 29. I'm almost halfway
Okay.
because I can't roll apparently. Seriously, no 7s or 8s in any of that. Poor shit.
And what's the plan to get to Elysium?
We can go pretty much wherever we want and plane shift there, right?
Yeah.
I'd need a fork.
Oh yeah.
We can buy one.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
have 250 gold, I'll go into the marketplace, buy a fork.
Yeah, we can handle it.
Okay. Just go ahead and remove that gold. Does anybody do any Elysium research?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
During that one day.
Yeah, I'll spend the one day doing what I can to research the plane, in addition to buying the fork.
And how much?
I'll probably ask the person I can buy the fork from anything I should know casting there.
Well, I mean, there is, but information's not free. So how much are you willing to spend on the?
I have no personal wealth.
I'll definitely chip in 300 gold of that.
300 gold? Okay. Here's the thing about Magic on Elysium. There's a lot of little rules, but the biggest rule is if you're good aligned, you're good to go. Which I don't think Nath knows the party's alignments exactly, unless he's used magical means or something.
No.
But in general, Riot, Liberation, and Nath will be fine. Mahogany might have a lot of problems casting spells, depending on what he casts them for. As far as various spell schools, no native of Elysium can be the target of Conjuration magic. Nothing can be summoned from the plane of Elysium. That means any Conjuration spells cast there can only reach Bytopia or the Beastlands.
It's fine, that's all I do.
All divination and illusion spells that serve to obscure, hide, or falsify information just fail. No magical disguises, no mirror image, no... I mean, that really stings for Nath, because it means like no non-detection kind of stuff. Enchantment spells or charm magic do not work on planar natives. Good aligned creatures have advantage against such spells on the plane, and evil creatures save a disadvantage. The plane actively prevents necromancy magic by causing psychic backlash.
Necromancy being understood to be like not.
Pretty much any spell that says it's necromancy. Any necromantic spell is probably going to fail, and if it's meant to cause damage or deal harm, it's going to fail and it's going to backlash.
Okay.
I don't think that's a problem for anybody in this group.
I don't think it is either, but like, well, nobody knows what's the difference. Is it revive?
Raise
What's the
dead?
spell? Raise dead. That's right.
Is that necromancy?
I think all the spells, all the raise dead to life spells are necromancy. Raise dead, revivify, and resurrection are all necromancy.
But none of those spells are meant to cause harm or cause damage.
Right.
Right.
Which is what
They're
I'm
meant to create, yeah. So,
That's why I was clarifying.
okay,
So
I
then
got you.
false
Yeah.
life would work as well?
Yeah, as long as you're not using it to like cause things to wither and die, you're probably okay.
Okay.
Anything that causes necrotic damage would be right out, obviously.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
And you were warned that people who go... And this is not necessarily a bad thing, the guy tells you. But people who go to Elysium and travel there for any length of time, most of them choose to stay. They just decide not to leave. Anything that's so important to you in Sigil or elsewhere in the plains will seem to drift away when you're there, because you will feel at peace. And his advice is, if this happens to you, to get off the plane immediately.
That's
Because-
why you take the fork.
Who wants to be stuck on Elysium for all eternity? In general, though, if that happens, a Dispel Evil and Good magic will reverse the effects. Or just tie a basher up and throw him in a sack and drag him off the plane. That also works. Alright. Have you guys had enough, like, devils and demons and stuff for a little while?
I wanted the disintegrator.
She didn't even sleep with me. God.
Oh, she did. She absolutely
Oh,
did.
she did? All right.
Oh,
cool.
yeah. It's just...
The way you made it sound is that like, there was kissing, and then it was kiss of death, and then
No,
nothing.
you had your bathroom tryst with the
Oh,
Succubus.
yeah. No, you absolutely
Okay,
did.
All right.
It's just she didn't dwell on it. And the guy was right. You will probably never know pleasure like that ever again.
Unless he has some jam.
There's two minor points of business that I'm going to take care of before we leave Sigil. First off is Father Mondo. Liberation's going to drop off some money for that, specifically 54 gold pieces.
Okay.
He's gonna give him 54 gold pieces, and then I'm gonna go to Haz and then buy Kelian a present to. Sorry for almost getting you killed by a succubus.
Dude.
You do realize Kelian made this choice, right?
So
He still feels responsible for it.
Where's
What-
Mahogany's? Sorry, I got you charmed present.
So let's just. Is there a consensus? Is this all Liberation's fault?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't.
Oh yeah.
No, well, no, I'm not going to blame Liberation for this. This is all Kelian's fault.
To be
Yeah,
clear,
no,
Mahogany
that is-
thinks this is Liberation's fault.
Nath doesn't think it's Liberation's fault, but he hopes it's a good lesson for both of them.
Mahogany thinks that once again, this is what happens when you try to go do good without thinking.
I'm just not going to stay here and lord over you and tell you I told you so, but next time, maybe we disintegrate the creature of pure chaos and evil instead of setting her loose on the world.
Kelian, next time you guys meet a succubus, you're absolutely going to sleep with her, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I mean,
Remember the party
how
motto,
is
learn
Kelian
nothing.
going to be able to replicate that unless he sleeps with another succubus?
It's never as good as your first time.
So,
Always chasing that high, huh?
Yeah.
just to put a pin in the Sigil stuff for the session. I knew the succubus stuff was going to be a while. We wanted to savor that for a little while. How does Kelian feel, like, personally about the deal with Ligris?
Oh, he hates it. He absolutely loathes it. But he was in no position to say no.
So how does that rub up against his ideals as a fated? Like, is a deal under duress honorable?
It is in the context of being the stronger individual, since there's a strain of thought that is might makes right. So, Ligris had all of the strength in that business deal. He could not have said no, but
So
now
that's how he looks
Kelian
at
is
it.
regaining. Yes, that is how he's rationalizing.
Okay.
But as Kelian regains his strength, he is definitely going to reconsider this business arrangement.
I have very good news. Is you didn't bring your crossbow and your magic box to a bowl of Anaheim, so you still have your magic weapon.
Oh no, he didn't lose his crossbow. How would he have hit things?
One way or another, you guys managed to get to Elysium. And it is... I mean, Mahogany, you in Serenity took a journey across Elysium once. It is a wonderful plane. There's day and night both. The weather is always perfect. Every morning at sunup, all of the grass, the leaves, the plants are just coated with a film of refreshing dew. It's never too hot or too cold. It's never too windy or too dry. The plain is crisscross with the river Oceanus. The river Oceanus is essentially the upper planar version of the river Styx. It's at its strongest in Elysium, actually. It's said that the river begins and empties into an ocean somewhere on the plain.
Yeah, we took a short trip down it once.
Did you?
Yeah, in Beastlands.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Our magic stuff was on an island in the middle of the river
Yeah,
Oceanus.
that's right.
And a whale.
You guys met a whale friend. Oh, maybe you'll meet him again. I don't know.
Go on pod.
So the river, you know from experience, in a lot of places it looks crossable, but it's always more treacherous than it looks. And it's also said to be infinitely deep. If the waters drag you down, that's it. However, the river also gives life to everything it touches. You've also been to Mount Celestia, and everybody there will tell you that it's because the headwaters of the river are in the ocean surrounding Mount Celestia. I'm sure nobody buys that.
The awful thing is you kind of have to because nobody on Mount Celestia is going to lie to you.
That doesn't believe that that doesn't mean that everything they believe is true.
That's true.
I figured out what Kelian's present is.
Okay.
And we are willing to believe they're all.
It's replaced with cigarettes.
Yay, I can smoke again.
Mahogany, you would have the most knowledge about just getting around the plane, this being your faction's headquarters.
Yeah.
there's not really anything like direction or distance on Elysium.
Right.
The way you progress is to move in a direction you want to go and do good things along the way. And when the plane thinks you're ready to arrive at your destination, you will arrive there.
And I'll tell Liberation, just go around acting natural.
Okay.
What do you tell Kelian?
So Kelian, just follow Liberation.
Just do what he does. So the first thing you guys find is a succubus who begs to be released.
Oh, he's just, God damn it.
I've still got disintegrate.
Let me
No.
sleep with it first.
No, God damn it.
I'll take care of this.
Liberation, where's your little box that you got many sessions ago?
The little
The little test box that was meant to see whether or not you were prime or planner.
planer. I'm still carrying that in a little cloth. It's in my pack.
Is Mrs. Fluffy Bottom with you?
Absolutely.
She's
She
not
would
concerned
love
about
this.
your well-being at all.
I can't imagine she would be. Why would she? Why would she be? I've only been feeding her and known her for a year and letting her take up residence in whatever I'm living in. Like, yeah, whatever.
Am I sensing a little bit of resentment?
No.
I know this is a very low-res picture, but I just want to point out that this star up here is literally called the City of the Star.
I actually forgot that we were playing on Tabletop Simulator until this moment. I've been looking at my notes for the last 4 hours, forgetting that. Yeah, we're playing on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah. Well, it's not been a very dicey session yet.
It got pretty dicey.
Who lets their guard down on Elysium? Let's start there. By which I mean is who feels safe? Who feels like they don't have to watch their backs?
Liberation.
Liberation does?
Nath, devoid of his various protection spells, actually feels a little bit less than safe. since all of his hiding from scrying and mind reading and whatnot won't work here.
Okay.
If Nath shared the information he learned,
Yeah, he did.
then Riot is very nervous because she doesn't like going off plane. She wants to be in Sigil at all times, and she doesn't like the idea of any plane that would want her make her leave Sigil.
Okay.
Mahogany feels fine because he figures he can handle it. He has Protect Evil when good on lockdown, and in addition, in Mahogany's mind, he got told, okay, you move towards where you want to go when you do good things.
Mhm.
Mahogany thinks nothing's going to be able to attack me because they'd have to do good in order to find me, and then they wouldn't want to attack me.
Well, and I know we've established this before, but I've forgotten. How much time, if any, has Mahogany spent on Elysium? This is the Cypher's headquarters plane.
Probably a decent amount, but not like we're not talking months. We're talking a weekend every now and then.
It would be very rare for Cyphers to spend months here. They don't maintain a headquarters like a lot of other places do. This isn't like Reese's summer home. Most of the Cypher settlements on Elysium, very few of them have a permanent population. They're very transient, and a lot of them are essentially just hippie communes, basically.
Yeah.
You show up, you live there for a while, you do some work, you move on to where the multiverse needs you. There's a lot of that. It's very, very informal. So Mahogany's drifted in and out of a couple of those over the years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly when he first joined.
What about Serenity? God rest her soul.
Serenity would have probably spent a significant number of long weekends here, but
Oh, you know what? Serenity would have also had the opportunity to facilitate trade. Because she lent herself as a bodyguard across the upper planes at points.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that matters because she's dead, so.
Mahogany would mostly just show up and build stuff. Like
Liberation.
Stuff repair.
Hey,
Where on your body are you carrying that box, if you have it?
it's in my pack.
It's in your pack?
Yeah.
You guys are walking through, on your first day in Elysium, you're walking through a very pleasant meadow. Mahogany's back there casting Druidcraft over and over, and it keeps telling him it's perfect. and you start feeling your pack rattle back and forth.
Set my pack down on the ground, and start digging through it, trying to find out what's shaking around in it.
And it's whatever's inside that box is rattling violently, like there's a cell phone in there set to vibrate and it's going off.
Huh. Yeah, I meant to do that, and I shiny things happened. That's literally Liberation's thought process. And he looks to Nath and says, "Hey, Nath, do you have a way to tell if someone's from the plains or if they're from the Prime?"
Does that even matter?
It's just an idle, just an idle curiosity.
Would the home become the place that they felt most accepted, or just be where they were born?
It's just an idle curiosity more than anything.
As these guys are having this conversation,
the rest of you I never considered before.
The rest of you see a crocodile head coming up out of the river near to your position.
I suppose it would matter for banishment.
Yeah.
Is that
that's a reasonable test. You could put them on the plane you think they're from and see if banishment sends them somewhere else.
And as this crocodile head comes out, you notice it's a lot bigger than a crocodile head should be.
Crocodile.
Mahogany cast speak with animals.
I have a picture of this monster, and he's one of my favorite Planescape monsters.
I feel like you say that for every monster you share.
There's a lot of good monsters in Planescape. You'll like this one though. I'll get the tablet out for you.
Alright, good.
So this is what you see clambering up out of the river. It's a tablet.
Oh!
Free iPad!
You get an iPad, and you get an iPad.
Cactus.
It's pretty cute today.
That is the thing.
It's okay. He's got a backpack. It's cute. He's got a backpack.
Now,
this is like Kraid's friendly cousin.
This is like I'm gonna call this a good buddy.
that's actually a more apt description than you know, because all studded throughout this thing's thick hide are just spines poking out at all weird jutted angles, and they look like mineral. They look like crystal or gem or something. And this thing is huge. I mean, it towers over any of you. We're talking 11 or 12 feet. And it's very large, and it moves very slowly. And it's lumbering with some amount of, a great amount of purpose directly towards Liberation in his crazily vibrating box. And it's going to be a few minutes before he reaches you. He's moving 20 feet around, so it's going to...
Liberation, you got a friend coming.
If I were you, I might set that box in the ground and walk away.
Sure, I'll do that.
What's in the box?
Oh, a thingy I found in the bazaar. It's supposed to tell me if I'm a planar or if I'm a prime.
All right. Well, I think it's a planar. So.
Well, that sounds easier than the banishment test, because after that we'd have to find you if you're not from the plane we expect you to be on.
Yeah. This dude's a planar, so I mean, all it'll do is pop up planar.
And it's starting to make noises as it comes close. And it kind of sounds like speech. You all have seen Labyrinth and are big fans of Ludo, I imagine.
Is it speech?
You're not sure. It could just be like a low groan, or it could just be the word hungry.
Liberation would know.
Yeah, I've got Tongue of the Sun and Moon.
Even Liberation's not sure.